At present, several nations and organizations are developing long-term plans to send manned missions to Mars. NASA kicked off the Mars mission program with the launching and testing of the Orion Multi-Purpose Crew Vehicle in 2014. The Orion is the first manned spacecraft intended to go beyond the low Earth orbit into deep space since the Apollo program. It has two modules, the Launch and Splashdown Crew Delivery Vehicle and the Deep Space Habitat Module, where the crew will live during the 16-month-long journey from Earth to Mars and back.
It's a good design. Now, it was designed to be bigger than Apollo, so the crew could be a little larger. It's designed to have a multi-purpose destination.
The first manned Mars mission is currently scheduled for the 2030s. On this pioneer mission, the astronauts will be able to orbit Mars for the first time ever and then return to Earth. Therefore, on this first mission, no walk on Martian soil is planned. In addition to NASA, other space agencies have different plans for the future exploration of Mars. ESA, the European Space Agency, through the Aurora program, has a long-term goal for the robotic and human exploration of Mars, with the hope of finding traces of life. It has already sent robotic probes like ExoMars in 2016 and plans to send the next probe in 2020. India, Japan, China, and Russia also have different robotic missions to explore Mars to be launched in the coming years. China and Russia plan to send humans to Mars in the 2040 to 2060 timeframe, but they are still long-term plans that could vary in the near future. Therefore, the only national space agency that has the clear goal of sending humans to the Red Planet is NASA, through its ambitious plan Journey to Mars for the 2030s. In 2015, NASA announced the launching of this enthralling plan, a program for human exploration and colonization of Mars. Journey to Mars that will culminate in a permanent settlement there. It has 3 different phases: Earth-reliant, Proving Ground, and Earth-independent. The first phase, the Earth-reliant exploration, started a few years ago and should last till 2020s. It's focused on research aboard the International Space Station to study the effects of the lack of gravity on the human body during long-duration space missions. The second phase, called Proving Ground, will test the capabilities needed by future Martian pioneers to live on Mars through several missions operating near the Moon. This phase will last till 2030. In the first of these missions, the Orion spacecraft will travel without astronauts thousands of miles beyond the Moon for 3 weeks. The next step will be a similar mission, but with astronauts inside the Orion. This crew will reach a milestone never achieved in the history of mankind. They will travel further from Earth than any humans have ever traveled before.
The Orion is bigger. That puts some challenges into it, but it'll be able to carry a little larger crew, and it has this multi-destination mission design for it. But again, to land anywhere still is going to require another component.
Also in the 2020s, they'll send astronauts on a year-long mission to test and verify survival in deep space as the final step before our arrival on Mars. Finally, the third stage, Earth Independent, has as its ultimate goal to send humans into low Mars orbit in the early 2030s. To reach this goal, they will need to test the techniques of entry, descent, and landing on the Martian surface, and analyze how to use the in-situ resources. Science missions are now very advanced, as there are plans for a new exploration rover for 2020 and a round-trip robotic demonstration mission that will bring samples of Martian soil to Earth in the late 2020s. In addition to different space agencies, interest in sending manned missions to the Red Planet, there are also several non-governmental organizations and private companies that have shown the clear intention of making the colonization of Mars a reality. One of the most proactive organizations is the Mars Society, which is dedicated to human exploration and settlement of Mars and has supported Mars analog research stations in Canada and the United States. Its president, Robert Zubrin, is a confirmed enthusiast of Mars colonization, as he is sure that nowadays technology is advanced enough to achieve it.
I think we could see Mars colonization in our time. We could see it much sooner than most people think. From a technical point of view, we're much closer today to being able to send humans to Mars than they were to being able to send men to the moon in the 1960s, and we were there 8 years after Kennedy's speech. Okay, if we had a president who made a similar bold and brave commitment as Kennedy and stuck with it, we could be on Mars by the end of his or her second term.
One of the most advanced private projects which is considering a self-sustaining human colony on Mars is the SpaceX project. The Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, the so-called SpaceX, is an American aerospace company founded in 2002 by Elon Musk, Tesla Motors CEO, and former PayPal entrepreneur, with the long-term goal of developing technologies that will allow a human settlement on the Red Planet to become a reality. Their ultimate aim would be to create a self-sustaining community, not just an outpost, that could grow into a city. To achieve it, Elon Musk states that an essential condition is to radically reduce the costs of the trip. As with the present costs, it would be totally impossible. According to Musk, the key factors to achieving lower costs would be the full reusability of the rockets, refueling in orbit, and propellant production on Mars.
SpaceX started by proving that they could develop space hardware at 1/10 the cost and 1/3 the time of the mainstream aerospace contractors.
SpaceX's plan is to create a Mars colony with a sustained population of 1 million people, which would mean 10,000 trips there with 100 people per trip in a time frame of about 40 to 100 years. The spaceship is designed with a crew cabin on top and a cargo compartment underneath, with capacity for 450 metric tons of cargo per trip. The duration of the trip would be about 80 days at the beginning, with the goal of reducing trip time to 30 days in the future. If all the plans are achieved, we would be witness to the arrival of the first crewed flight to Mars in about 10 years' time. Until that incredible milestone is reached, the goal is to send cargo from the very first trips to Mars from now on.
Musk might be able to do it. He's going to have to be lucky, okay? He's very brave, he's very determined, but this is a game where you have to do everything right and roll 7-11 or doubles.
Thanks to unstoppable technological advances, the settlement of a Mars colony is no longer the realm of science fiction, but a feasible reality. In the coming decades, we might be landing, working, and living on Mars. This could be just the beginning of the interplanetary expansion of the human being in the solar system. Maybe in a not-so-distant future, our home will be in a very distant place, in one of those remote space colonies.